I'll first give you a brief about what Elansol is. Most of you already know what Elansol is and who I am, but just for a quick introduction, uh, Elansol is a Industry 4.0 solutions company, and we work to provide Industry 4.0 solutions to manufacturing companies. Uh, Myself, Chetan Kulkarni, I have almost 20 plus years of industry experience working with various companies like Emerson, Renault Electronics, Delta, uh, and uh, few more. Uh, we started Elansol, me and my co-founder Nikhil. We started Elansol almost 5 years back, and since then we are working with various companies to provide various solutions. So based on our understanding and based on the research that we have done over the years, we understood that almost 70 to 80% of digital transformation initiatives are failed because of various reasons. And typically what happens is most of the implementations are being done in siloed mode, or those are the solutions which are typically implemented as a standalone solutions, and uh, without having any pre and post implementation plans. So according to the McKinsey's recent report, almost 78% of digital transformation initiatives lack a clear strategy and objectives. Almost 65% plus initiatives fail because of cultural resistance and change management, good change management practices. Almost 22% of these initiatives also had a skill shortage with regards to the digital way of working. Uh, okay, I hope I'm pretty much audible to everyone, and you're you're hearing me well.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, I'm glad that Sripad is here. Sripad is a Siri certified assessor and who have been helping us to understand and create the solutions for the markets. Sripad, welcome.
Thank you.
And I will be coming to you if, or you can correct me if I'm wrong in, or if I'm missing anything.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Okay. Uh, mm, okay. So most of these implementations are typically done in, as I said, typically done in silo approach. So most of these digital transformation initiatives or Industry 4.0 implementations are done based on the individual's interest and uh, initially individual's interest initially, and then it is taken to the management once the POC is done, or once the POC is being carried out and they have found the right results with that. But the major trap of implementing POCs without having a strategy behind strategy before they go towards the scalable approach or towards the scalable.
And Chetan,
Yeah.
You're not sharing anything, right? Because we can't see.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm just talking right now. I'm going to share in a few minutes.
All right.
Yeah. So bridging the gap or having the right skills between IT and foundational OT technologies, that is a very critical thing. And precisely that's the gap in the industry that we have already identified, and most of the people have started working towards it. But having the right strategy to implement the Industry 4.0 or overall digitization initiatives needs a cultural shift in the organization, right from the management to the shop floor level of operators. And this particular uh, mm, this particular thing is being identified by World Economic Forum, and they have come up with couple of models. One is called as CD, Smart Industry Readiness Index, and second is RAMI, Reference Architecture Model. So, reference architecture model for Industry 4.0. So these are typically called as the gold standards, or these are typically the baseline standards when it's come to Industry 4.0 maturity or understanding. Where are we right now in terms of our operations? Where are we, or where do we want to go as a next step, and how we want to take the next step towards the smart industry or towards the digitization. So, and these exclusively uh, uh, these two models, these two gold standards are uh, mm, typically considered as benchmarks, and uh, these two standards gives you a competitive intelligence. It helps you to build the credibility. It helps you to take more data driven decisions. So in order to do that, what we have done is we have okay con- before we go towards what we have done, let's try and understand how are the things done, or how are these maturity assessments, or how are these smart industry assessments are done in a conventional way. So typically, there is a consultant who is certified to do these kind of assessments, like Sripad in this group right now. Uh, so uh, consultants typically visit the manufacturing plant. They will ask you, or they'll take a Gemba walk, or they'll do the initial survey. They'll ask you a bunch of questions, and based on based on that, and based on the standard Siri and Rami models, they will create a maturity score for you. And it typically takes 4 to 5 days initially just to give you a maturity score. Sripad, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes. And once the maturity score is derived, then typically next step is to go towards identification of areas of improvement, and then it would then these consultants will craft a roadmap for you. So it is completely right now uh, person dependent process, and there are not too many consultants who are available to do these kind of assessments. Time taken is obviously dependent on the interaction speed that happens, or how quickly you can capture all the data, how quickly you can get the meetings, from the relevant people, and that's how the time becomes exponential factor in this particular thing. Uh, in order to avoid these things and give you a fully digital approach, what we have done is we have created an online platform which is called as SARGEN. This is mm, this is a typical look of the SARGEN. So SARGEN is completely derived with the help of consultants like Sripad and many more. Plus, the backbone of SARGEN is the World Economics Forum's document, uh, which they have published over the time, the reports and methodologies and frameworks that they have provided. And basically SARGEN is systematic assessment and roadmap generation. That's the typical full form of the SARGEN. So it is being created and crafted very, very carefully to give a, faster or fast-paced assessments and very, very quick report generations, which are completely faceless in nature, which are completely driven by the data that has been provided by you, and which will give you a very, very quick assessment and roadmap creation reports or roadmap reports, which will help you to strategize your next actions based on the real time or based on the data which has been uh, uh, captured during this particular process. Okay. Any questions till now? Anything? Someone wants to ask anything? Any questions? Anything? Okay, so let's. I think that's a quick brief what I had for what is SARGEN, how it has been created, and whatnot. So apart from that, let's do one thing. Mm, let's go directly to one assessment, and I'll show you how quickly we can create or do the assessment and how the assessments are typically being done. So this is Sarjan is an online platform where you can feel the data of your manufacturing plant, and then we will go towards the uh, assessment part. So these are the categories of the industry from which you may be belonging to. Let's try and select general manufacturing and save some data. So there are typically whenever we do planning, we do whenever we want a roadmap for digital transformation or industry 4.0, there are three types of horizons that we can select from. One is strategic, which will be long term, which is in line with the long term organization's goal. Operational are typically 1 to 2 year, with a 1 to 2 years time frame, where we want to achieve the operational excellence. And tactical are the tactical horizon is for the immediate actions that we need to take within next 12 months. So I think let's select operational and move forward. So these are the typical KPIs which are related to mm, your industry. Related, most of the industries have these KPIs in common. For an example, product quality. So what we have to do is we have to select 5 KPIs to which we want to focus on or which we want an immediate improvement. Then we come to a cost profile analysis. Typically, uh, cost profile or cost controls are something which are. So let me just drag this. Yes. So whenever we go to any page, we have some information on the right hand side which will help us to finalize or to, to feed in the data. I'm just putting in some random numbers right now. And see, typically, if all these percentages are less than 100%, then we are mm, the remaining is profit. If it is more than 100%, then typically it's a loss-making business we are in. So I'm just putting some random numbers in order to give you some additional inputs. Okay. So after we put all these things, there are some questions regarding the management and management's alignment towards Industry 4.0 or towards digitization. And the description for all these things is already written. What we have to do is we have to read and we have to answer these questions. The entire assessment format is exactly similar. So let's assume that management is not familiar with Industry 4.0 concepts right now, and we have, let's say we have done only one POC till date, and there are some other questions that we need to answer. What we have done is we have segregated all these questions based on certain things, based on the typical departments which are available in any manufacturing plant. For an example, there is research and development, then there is a planning department, there is a supply chain for purchase and supply chain for sales. So these two we have segregated separately because there are certain questions which are in line with these two functions of the supply chain. There is a production department, quality related questions you will find, maintenance related questions you will find. There are some questions regarding your utilities. There are some questions regarding your finance. There are some questions for your IT department as well. There are certain questions which are related to learning and development, and there are certain questions which are related to your HR and HR policies. Okay, so in every section, what you will find is a question guide, which will help you to understand what this question is all about and how you can. It will help you to understand more about what we are trying to ask. Okay, if you think that there is a certain question or there is a certain answer, but that does not fully in line with your processes, you can always go down and enter your justification down here. Okay, once we do all once we finish all these questions, then typically there are couple of reports. Those are generated once we finish and once we submit all the questions. Then there are two reports. One is for your maturity assessment and one is for your roadmap. typically these two reports are being generated. In the maturity report, what you will find is, what is maturity? That's the first question. So that's maturity and its typical answers. Then what is the framework that what we are what we are using? We prefer to use lead framework. Lead framework is learn, evaluate, architect, and then deploy. So based on based on this, the first questionnaire part falls into the learning part of it. Evaluation, or first part, learn, is all about how you how the industry 4.0 fundamentals are being briefed before we start this assessment. So it's an interactive process. You can we can have a one-to-one discussion on before we start the assessment, or if you are well familiar with the terminologies, you can always go ahead and start the assessment directly. Evaluate is the process where we are all the questions comes in, and there are 16 dimension model, and there are 4 priority focus dimensions. Those are the 2 key parameters. I'll be explaining that in a minute. After that, the roadmap, solution design and roadmap is the third part, and deployment is obviously the final spot, which is iterative in nature based on the roadmap. Okay, so as I said, SIRI is a framework defined by World Economic Forum, and the entire thing is available on a particular link. I think we are also giving you that link. So this is the link which is available on World Economic Forum's website. So as I said, there are once we submit all the questions, the AI engine behind and all the formulas and all the background knowledge based on that, we will define the average score for 16 different dimensions. So these dimensions are typically related to vertical integration, horizontal integration, your shop floor automation, your connectivity of your facilities, how is there any intelligence which is built for your shop floor, for your enterprise, for your facilities, how what's your exact level in workforce learning and development, the competency of leadership in line with Industry 4.0. Your strategies and governance, your inter or intra-company collaboration related things. So these are typically derived from the answers that you provide for the questions what we are asking you for each and every department. Okay, and let's take a pause, and if someone wants to ask anything, someone wants to say something, any questions, any comments. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Chetan, we can hear you.
Okay, so shall I assume there are no questions? Okay, so once this report is generated, once the assessment is generated, our AI engine will, based on the answers, our AI engine will give you 4 focus areas or 4 focus dimensions which you need to focus on immediately, or which you can start working on as your first step. So once we define these focus dimensions, typically, what are the next steps based on each and every focus dimension that has been provided. So based on this, based on where we are right now, let's assume that in enterprise intelligence level, we are at band 1. All green is fulfilled, all yellow is we need to go towards making everything, all these 6 bands green. Okay, once we have the band, the typical report. For an example, what we have seen is enterprise intelligence, and we were at band 1. Then, considering uh, the AI engine will give you a guidance to what to implement, what is the type of the tool, how, what are the KPIs, those it will have its impact on. For an example, for enterprise intelligence, and we are in band 1. For going band 1 to band 2, what we need to have is basic reporting dashboard. That is required. It will take almost 12 to 15 months to implement, because it needs various amount of data capturing to be done at various levels. So for implementing enterprise intelligence, what we need to have these 4 solutions, and the total investment, which is the average. Total investment is obviously higher, but typically considering Indian scenarios, we can consider the average investment which is required. Typical time to implement this is, average time is around 6 months. There are 4 dimensions covered, and it will have its impact on 15% on data visibility, 12% data accessibility, 15% on, again, data visibility and equipment visibility. Based on these, there are specific formulas which we will provide, and we will give you the ROI. Not only formulas, but we will also give you, if we are doing, let's say, 75,000 rupees of investment, what is the ROI time frame that we can achieve from all after implementing basic ERP system. So this is what you will be getting as a report, and this is the SARGEN that will help you to build your own maturity assessment and create your own roadmap based on your requirements. So I think that's a quick brief and introduction about SARGEN. This is what SARGEN does, and I believe this is how it will help the manufacturing companies to build their roadmap and have more strategic approach towards Industry 4.0. Plus, it will give you a 2-year, 3-year, or 5 years roadmap depending on your priorities, your preferences, with the investment that is required, the KPIs it will impact, the timelines for implementation, and the ROI timelines as well. So whenever we want to go towards go to get an approval from management, or even from a CFO, this is the primary thing which will help us for not only getting the quick approvals but getting the right budgets to implement the Industry 4.0 solutions in systematic and structured way, and how it will help us to achieve better KPIs in long run. I think that's all about SARGEN. So I think I'll stop presenting and I'll uh, the forum is open for any questions, any comments or anything. Sripad, Anup, uh, Manojji, any comments? Anything specific that you want?
No, nothing from my side, Chetan.
Okay.
Chetan, Anup here. Am I audible?
Yes, Anup.
Yes. Thanks first of all. Got a lot of clarity on the tool and its usefulness. So I had only a couple of questions. First is related to whether this tool is the questionnaires that are mentioned are customizable based on the industry type or uh, the area where we are targeting to present this. Like some of the areas they might do not want to answer, so or they do not have the answer. Can they skip that question and fill the questionnaire? Is that okay, or can we modify the questions or delete some questions? Is the tool having that facility?
Most of the questions are in line with with the global scenarios what we have.
Okay. So typically, the data should be available with the table.
Yes.
That is what is expected. Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
secondly,
Obviously,
are we supposed to have any NDAs or anything before doing this assessment? Because any we are taking some data from the company, so they might expect some NDAs before taking.
Yes. So we are open to sign an NDA. No worries on that particular side. Since this is an online platform, we have taken care of extreme security measures in terms of the connectivity, in terms of various type of cyber attacks as well, in order to make sure that your data stays with Elansol, and once the assessment is done, you can choose to keep your data, or you can just tell us that we can delete, or you can tell us to remove the data from the portal. We will be happy to do that.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. That's all from me.
Yes.
So, Chetan, can I add something to?
Yes.
Yeah, so Anup, one clarification, additional clarification to your question is a question about the questions. See, all the questions are, the basic, if I were to have the basic template for the question is, how do you do this? That is the nature of the question. Now, there is no question of not knowing the answer because you do it every day. Actually, these are the questions about the day in the life of your company or the company of the customer's company. So the question about not knowing the answer doesn't arise. And it is not, the questions are not, oh, can you give me the, average cost of this product over the last 3 years and how the cost has increased over, from year on year. Such complicated mathematical questions are not there. No? For instance, Chetan showed a screen which has the cost structure, right? That cost structure every company will have in its balance sheet itself, because every company knows its material cost, knows its transportation cost, knows its labor cost. These are fundamental costs that the company actually records as line items in their own P&L, right? So they will know. The finance department will know them by heart. So these are pretty straightforward questions actually.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thanks.
So, Sripad, Mr. Manoj Panchal have one question.
Yes.
That is, I think you are in a better position to answer this question.
Okay.
What is the current level of Industry 4.0 implementation in Indian manufacturing sector?
Yeah. So I think the current level probably difficult to quantify the level, but it's like very, very, very low. It is actually generally not very high, across the world itself. I mean, it would be that Industry 4.0. So there are two ways to answer, Mr. Manoj Panchal. There are two ways to answer this question. One is Industry 4 itself is quite prevalent. I mean, if you go to any company and say, are you doing something about Industry 4? The answer will be a resounding yes, always, because they're doing something, right? But the systematic manner in which, Chetan has created the model, or, Elansol has created the model, that systematic nature of assessment is very, very low. So usually the Industry 4 adoption is sporadic. So people take up one IoT pilot. Now is it Industry 4.0? Yes. Now many people have moved their SAP system to S4 HANA, which is on cloud. Is that Industry 4.0? Yes, because cloud technologies is part of Industry 4.0. So that way Industry 4.0 is everywhere. So it's not that it is not being adopted, but a systematic, initiative which takes Industry 4.0, considers Industry 4.0 maturity and then increases the maturity systematically. That approach is low, and it's low across the world. It's not that there are some countries who are a little better, but everywhere it's a new model.
Thanks for the answer. Okay, so Raja sir, any questions from your side? Okay, Pranav has a question. Could you please throw some light on the AI model used for the SARGEN and how it is trained? Okay, so there is the AI model that we have used is a custom model that we have built based on the World Economic Forum's entire framework and relevant data that has been provided. The SARGEN platform is backed with multiple models. One out of that is generative AI models which are available. But when it comes to the entire methodology and entire implementation of SARGEN, that is based on various AI models, custom AI models, which are being deployed under the MCP on our own server. Pranav, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think
Chetan,
Hello.
also wants to talk, but I think he is forcibly muted.
I have not forced anyone.
Okay.
1 second. I think. Kaustup, can you try it one more time?
I think now it's open. Hey, hello, Chetan.
Yes, Kaustup.
Yeah. Shripad, hi, everybody. I'm Kaustup Samak here. Definitely interested in the understanding and learning many things out of SARGEN. Only thing I could not join in time, slightly some other schedules. Definitely, Chetan, I would like to have all the details of SARGEN, what you have already discussed with me, and I will go through that. Only part I can say that when I had initially seen this SARGEN concept, I will say, being an Industry 4.0 man for last many years now, that concept will definitely help people to lead towards the Industry 4.0. In India, to the best of my knowledge, and Shripad can join his voice with me, that nobody is thoroughly Industry 4.0 in India. I work with many companies in India for Industry 4.0, including Tata's, including UPL company, including EMA. they are very serious about Industry 4.0, but the journey is really too long, and they have to go far away for that. So, Chetan, this platform will definitely help to understand the teams, to understand the organizations where they are standing today. Because industry is not like industry 1, 2, 3, 4. It is industry 2.2 is also there. There could be industry 3.1 also. So positioning all the organizations, the SARGEN will help to position them where they are exactly standing. And Shripad had rightly mentioned that there are many questions, but answers are already with all the companies. Maybe financial, maybe productivity, maybe maintenance, maybe safety. Many areas are there for Industry 4.0, and as rightly Shripad said, yes, everybody is trying for that. So they are doing in bits and pieces. But as a overall Industry 4.0, all the segments, all the sectors, if somebody wants to analyze them, then SARGEN is a really good platform. Because I had gone through the details of SARGEN, and I am thoroughly convinced. Okay, every system, every program has a continuous expansion methodology. So we can add many other things also in SARGEN in future. But right now, understanding the position for the Industry 4.0, yes, SARGEN will be the great help. That is for sure. And I wish all the best for the entire Elansol team. Shripad has put a great efforts for that. And Elansol team also, I wish them really all the very best for that. And
Sure.
yeah, it's my city from my side.
Thank you, Kaustubh. Thank you.
So, Kaustubh, here is a surprise module. What even it's a surprise module what we have created for specifically this webinar onwards.
Okay.
Okay, I think you and Shripad both have not seen this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had kept us in surprise only.
Yeah. So this will give you. So this is just a very very recent development what we have done pretty quickly. So based on what your what is your focus dimension and what is your band level, based on that there are certain solutions which will immediately pop up, which will give you your typical investment, what is typical recurring cost, typical time for implementation, typical time for ROI, and your impact area, and how you can calculate your ROI as well. So
Right.
this will be a part of the executive summary in the SARGEN.
Yeah.
So there are three reports now that we will be providing. One is the assessment report, second is the roadmap report, and third one is the executive summary, which will have all these numbers, the high level numbers, based on our experience. We can obviously change that depending on if we have any specific numbers with us.
Okay. Right. Definitely, Chetan, you're right on this front. Most importantly, in Industry 4.0, the word called maturity of the model is most important, and it is totally based on the data which is available where you are starting, as well as the time frame which you are investing your time and the data. So that matures the model, and that gives the company the real results. My point is very simple in this, that the base model is really good and perfect, but as and when people will start using that, putting their efforts as well as the data, then it will mature the model, and it will take some time for everybody, but that will give the right direction for them. That is most important. Finally, Industry 4.0 is a terminology, but it is different for all. So every company differs on the Industry 4.0. So when somebody is trying to adopt, then the priority wise, they can definitely say that okay, how we can go ahead. Okay, so I wish first that everybody should start investing their time as well as the data investing into this sergeant. They have to ask many questions to themselves, which will give them a fair idea where they are standing, and then the direction or the goal will get set by the companies where they want to land in future, and which time frame has to be invested for that. That will actually help them. So Sarjan is not only the questioner. Basically, it is going to help them understanding. It is parallel things together, that whether they will start asking themselves questions, they will understand okay, what was going wrong, what was going right in the previous days, and what has to be done right in future. Correct.
Correct.
So that is how Sarjan will be a buddy for them, actually speaking. It will be like that.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So I think that's all about Sarjan. The basic introduction of Sarjan. I would like to invite you all to uh, for a free assessment who are attending these this webinar. We are going to give them assessment for free, and we will be as I said, there are three type of reports. Out of these three reports, the assessment will be done for free. Who is attending this webinar? So I would like to have a one-to-one discussion with each and every one of you. I will be setting up a time, and then we can discuss about this. So I think that's it. That's it from me and Elansol team today. So thanks for joining in. I would like to talk to each and everyone very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetan.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.